right, we are back, and again, this is our home. We're joined with Michael Crouch, who had a workout earlier today, and we're going to do an extension off of our first video, the Series 1 lift. We're going to just do a minor progression off of that. So if this is your first time doing the video series, this would kind of be like your second workout, and it's something that you can do as a progressive effort. If some of the exercises are a little bit too hard, we'll give you some regressions. But we're going to go right into it. We're going to do 4 core exercises times 2. Then we're going to do a total body series that'll be about 3 or 4 series long. And then we're going to go back into the core position 4 exercises just to kind of cool the body down. So Michael, again, he did a workout earlier today. We're not trying to be too invasive. It was a pretty good workout. And so we're just kind of using this as supplement to the running. But yeah, let's get moving. So Michael, get into your plank position. All right, and in this, we're gonna do on your feet. Yeah, no, you're good. Plank. There we go. Don't mind him; he's a little slow. On your feet. Good. And instead of just holding the plank, we are going to reach out to that dumbbell, one hand at a time. And back in. Good. Alternating position. Notice how the hips aren't twisting at all. And he's going to keep rotating back and forth in that position, making sure that those hips don't twist. And we're going to go for 6 to 8 reps each. This is number 3. Great. Good. Watch those hips twisting. There we go. You'll notice if you have some serious instability, you'll twist a lot. You're going to twist a little bit just because you're moving and shifting that weight a little, but the idea is to keep those hips level so they don't twist. On your back, single leg bridge position, palms facing the ceiling. All right, one leg, palms facing the ceiling. There we go. We're going to take this leg, put it straight into the air. We're going to extend it out. In the previous videos, we had them bent, but this is a progression, so we're going to extend it out, up and down with the hips smooth and slow. All the way up, all the way down, smooth and slow. We're going to go for 12 to 15 repetitions. All right? And notice how we want that leg, the knee, the ankle, the hip, and the shoulders in a straight line. That's how we know we're in full extension. So you really want to squeeze those cheeks and get those hips up nice and high. And it's okay if you feel a little bit of a stretching through the quads. That's fine. We're going to do 12 reps up to 15. If you can get to 15, get to 15. Don't stop at 12. We want to up some of those repetitions. Palms are facing the ceiling so that every single time you lift your hips up, you're stretching through the chest. So many of us rather, have been sitting on our computers, on our cell phones, sitting on the couch at home. By opening up the chest, we're going to wake up the back muscles and relax the chest. And once you get 12 to 15 reps on one leg, Michael, you're going to go ahead and switch sides. Oh, you got it done already?
Yeah.
Look at that. You already switched. This is wonderful. All right. Keeping that toe connected to my hand. Even when you come down. There we go. So we're just rotating through that hip. And that way the quads continue with the same angle, whether your hips are on the ground or whether your hips are in the air. From here, we're going to go into a reverse fly with one dumbbell. So Michael, you have an 8-pound dumbbell right behind you. You're going to stand and face the camera. One hand at your hip, one arm straight out in front of you. The back is going to be straight. You're going to have a slight bend, and you're going to come out to my hand and then back down. Chin down, and we're going to keep that weight up away. Good. A little bit of a bend in the elbow. There we go. So we're pulling through here. Stick that chest out a little bit more for me. And good. Smooth and slow. A little bit more of a bend in that elbow for me. So we're pulling through here. Good. All right. For this exercise, we're going to focus on 12 to 15 reps. Chest a little bit lower, ass a little bit higher to the ceiling. There we go. Sticking that chest out a little bit more for me. There we go. So we're isolating. We just did one leg, and now we're going to do one part of the back and the other part of the back. And switch. And I'm going to have you turn and actually face the guitars for me. Yep, there we go. That way, the folks at home can get a chance to see that flat back. Good. Chest out. There we go. Chin down. Smooth and slow. Pinching through the shoulder blades. All right. We have a nice flat back. And you can lower that chest down and raise that butt up a little higher as long as you're not feeling pain in the lower back. There we go. And notice how the weight, guys, is coming up to the height of the shoulder. He's doing that perfectly. Smooth and controlled, and he's not over-rotating in his shoulders, right? Everything is staying stable. He's just rotating off of the shoulder blades. And from here, we're going to go into a crunch position once you get 12 reps, crunch position. All right, feet are up in the air. Knees are bent. Knees are past your hips. Making sure your lower back is tucked. Fingertips at the ears. You're going to come up with a little bit of rotation and then back down. Alternating positions. We're going to go 8 per side. 16 total reps, but can you push those knees in front of you just a little bit further? There we go. By pushing the knees in front past the hips, we're making the lever slightly longer, which means they're going to be a little bit heavier. If that bothers your back, pull those knees back over those hips or put your feet on the ground. But if you're stable and strong enough, maybe you can, I'm going to dip down here because it's a little awkward with my head decapitated. Maybe you can push those knees out a little bit further. So we're doing this from our very own home. You can see our guitars on the wall here. We don't have all the fancy equipment in the world. Great job. We don't have all the fancy equipment in the world, but we're still able to get a great workout with very basic equipment. Plank position, we're going to go right back into that reach. And this time we're going to go 8 to 10 versus 6 to 8. All right? 8 to 10 versus 6 to 8. Feet a little bit wider than hips. If your feet are too close together, you are going to twist like crazy and maybe even fall over. Keeping your feet a little bit wider than you're normally comfortable will allow you to do the exercise without twisting too much. There's still going to be some. There's not going to be zero. And it's all right if one side is stronger than the other. You're learning some of those imbalances, and it's something that we can work on and strengthen. There we go. Now I don't feel as awkward. Good. Where are we at, Michael?
60.
All right, on your back, single leg bridge, full extension with that leg for me. Full extension with that leg, straight out in front. Good. Keeping that toe connected up and down, smooth and slow. Good. And trying to raise those hips as high as you can, getting that full range of motion. Good. Now, notice what Michael just did. If you saw, he corrected himself and he turned those palms over. That's really important. It might seem like a subtle change, something that doesn't matter, but we don't want to practice this motion, right? We don't want to have that curling in the back. We want to do things that are going to work on the posture, work on that posterior chain. 12 to 15 reps per side. Toe flex towards the knee. Good. All right. Smooth and controlled. Good position. And no major pausing at the top, nor a major pause at the bottom, going from one repetition to the other. And by doing this, each exercise, each leg, each motion is going to be about 45 to 50 seconds. And if you do this times 2, you're about a minute and a half for the motion, for the total, and then you move on to the next exercise, which is the standing reverse fly. Smooth and slow. Good. Chest down a little bit lower. There we go. Smooth and slow. Good. Trying to come up a little bit slower so you're not. There we go. Perfect. All right. Back is flat. The chest is extended so you're not rounding. Right? We're not trying to do this. You tuck those hips out. You flatten that back. You're going to have a little bit of a pull in your hamstrings if you're like me and you have a very, very tight hamstring base. All right. 12 reps is great. If you can get to 15 today, that's what we want to try to do. Good. pulling through here. Slight bend in that elbow. And keeping that bend in the elbow. Good. Think about pulling through the shoulder blade and squeezing something in the middle of those shoulder blades. Chest can be a little bit lower, butt can be a little bit higher, so we're fighting gravity with that weight, right? There we go. Smooth and controlled. It's very easy as you start to get tired to want to pull that weight a little bit faster or come down a little bit faster. We want to take our time. We want each exercise to last. On your back crunch position, we're going to add a little bit of that rotation, alternating. Fingertips are at the ears, not behind the head. All right? Good. Now can you come up a little bit slower and manage that weight a little bit longer? There we go. And every single time you come down, you want to come all the way back down to zero. And you want to manage to make sure that you're not in pain in your lower back. If this is causing pain, don't rotate. Just go up and down, smooth and slow. All right? As well, if this is causing pain, you can always put your feet on the ground.
How many for this?
We're going to go 16 repetitions.
Break.
All right. Now, we're going to get into a lunge position. So Michael's going to take a little bit of a rest, and I'm going to walk you through this. So in this position, before we were doing squats of the weight at the chest, right? So today, we're going to do a split squat, right? The back heel is going to stay in the air. You're going to have weight in the opposite leg, or opposite arm rather, right? My left leg's in front, my right arm is grabbing the weight. Coming down, let the knee touch the ground, back up. Now, if that range of motion bothers you, come halfway. Come to the range of motion that makes the most sense for you. For Michael, we're going to start with a 10-pound dumbbell, opposite hand, opposite leg.
This way?
Yep, and we're going to keep that weight right in front. We don't want it directly on top. We want to keep it in front of your body. This back heel is going to be in the air, so your toes on the ground, and come down to that lunge position, and back up. You can spread up a little bit more. There we go. You want to be stable first. Smooth, slow and controlled, and when you come up, don't come up as fast. There we go. Pushing through the heel. We're going to do 8 to 10 reps per leg. Notice how that back stays straight and tall. Notice how the chest doesn't collapse. As he's coming down, he's not coming down like this. He's keeping that chest nice and tall, so that weight stays centered on the hips. And switch. 8 to 10 reps per side. Good. Keeping that heel planted in the ground. It's all right if you feel a little bit shaky, right? If you feel a little bit shaky, just reset yourself and come down smooth and controlled. Don't let your knee collapse to go in, right? When you're coming back up, you want to keep everything in line. So think about having a little bit of pressure on the outside of that knee. Good. Where are we at? 8. 8. All right. We're going to go 8 to 10. All right. On your back, your calves are going to be on the ball. The lower to mid part of your calf. Your toes are going to be straight up to the ceiling towards your knees. All right. We're going to have a little bit longer. No. I'm going to put this a little bit further away. That way, the ball is closer towards the ankle than it is to the knee. We're going to relax those legs. There we go. Palms are facing the ceiling. Hips are up in the air. A little bit higher for me, a little bit higher. Now when you roll in, those hips are going to go up towards the ceiling. Raise those hips as you come in, and then come back down. Smooth and slow. Good. Back up and in. And again, here, we're going to go 10 to 12 repetitions. Every time that ball comes in, those hips are rising high. If this became too much, or if this was too much, you could always do a walking bridge. And if we end up needing to do that in this session, we will. But essentially, your hips are up, your feet are in, and you inch your heels away from you. And then you walk them back in. It's a little bit less invasive. Where are we at, Michael?
10, right?
All right. Can we do 2 more?
I guess we can try.
I love it. I love it. We want to try to get to 12. Right? When we're doing a double leg exercise or a double arm exercise, we want to try to get to 12. We're going to go into a plank position. Yeah, plank position. All right? And now, you're going to replace this elbow with this hand and other hand. Good. And then push up. Then back down to your plank. Hold. That's 1. Give me 8 of those. And the reason we want to do 8 of these is because this is a compound motion, and every position you will pause, so you're not just blasting through the exercise. Right? What's that, 3?
3.
All right. So 8 of these is going to take about a minute. If this becomes too much, take the push-up away and just focus on the plank up-down. Good. Make sure every single time that elbow is being replaced with the palm. You don't want to be doing the push-up with the hands up by your eyes. You want to keep it right around the chest. And when we're doing the plank, that's where the elbow is. Good. It puts that position across, the weight across the chest. You got 8?
Yep.
Fantastic. All right, crunch position. Fingertips are at the ears, but your knees are going to be up, and your feet, actually, pop up for me. Pop up. No, on your butt. There we go. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Fingertips are at your ears. Balance. Hold that position. You're going to come back down and rock and extend your legs in front of you.
Wait, explain that again?
There we go. All right, we're going to be here. You're going to come back down and then come back up. And then come back up. There we go. Now, each time, you can reset by putting your feet on the ground, or if you can maintain balance, keep your heels in the air the entire time. In this exercise, we're going to shoot for 12 repetitions. All right? If this became too much, you can always take those hands and move them by the side, right by the side of your legs. Or if that still was too much, put those hands right behind your body with your fingertips on the ground. Good. All right, lunge position. Lunge position. Instead of going up to the side, which we've already done, we're going to do a pull. Right? Lunge position, opposite leg in front. Back leg is bent. Bow down. Same position as you were for the reverse fly. Instead, you're going to pull. So Michael's automatic position is to round that back. So stick that chest out for me. Stick the hips out for me. There we go. Now pull. Good. Smooth and slow. That opposite hand can be wherever you need it to be to maintain stability. Good. Again, we're going to go for 10 to 12 reps on this. If it's double, we're going to go with 2 hands at the same time. We're going to go for 12 to 15. Keep that chest straight and back. Get the hips up tall, the chest down low. There we go. Smooth and controlled. Opposite side. Good. That weight can come in front of you a little bit more. There we go. And we're pulling neutral into the body, right? Neutral into the body versus away from the shoulder, away from the chest. Just a little bit lower, but a little bit higher. And if this is the first time you've done some of this motion, it's okay to be a little, quote-unquote, awkward. It's okay to lose your balance a little bit. Right? That's fine. This is the first time I'm working Michael out. Alrighty. So we're going to go back to that ball. But if you don't have a ball, we can very easily, for the previous exercise, you can use a soup can, 2 soup cans, you can use a foam roller. But if you don't have a ball in this position, you can use a chair with a cushion on the chair. So Michael, you're going to have a seat right here, facing out towards the guitars. I'm going to give you 2 dumbbells. We're going to start with 8-pound dumbbells to get a little bit less weight above your body. Weights are going to be at your shoulders. Elbows are in. Good. And you're going to walk yourself out so your upper back comes onto the ball. And the hips are going to be up tall. Good. All right, so now you're in the bridge position. Your feet can be in front of you just a little bit more, and a little bit wider to give you a little bit more stability. Weights are going to be above your chest. Slowly come down, elbows to the ceiling, and then back up. Good. We won't go all the way down. We'll come down so your forearms right there are parallel to the ground. All right. One of the things that we don't want to have happen is that the elbows come near the chest or near the stomach. So we want those elbows to continue to point straight up to the ceiling. But while you're in this position, this is a compound motion, squeezing your cheeks and pulling with the hamstrings. Good. We're going to try to keep these elbows up a little bit more so that weight is above the chest. There we go. And now we're just rotating just from the elbow versus the shoulder. Squeezing those cheeks for me. Again, 8 to 12 repetitions. All right, walk it back in a safe way. Good. Good. All right, relax. We're gonna go through that series 2 more times. We're gonna be in that lunge position. All right, we're gonna be in the bridge position. We're gonna do the up-down push-up. We're going to do the row, and then we're going to go into the skull crusher as well, get some of the core in there as well. So, how did that 10-pounder feel for the lunge? Is that too easy?
Yeah, I think you can go a little bit more.
All right, looks good. So, unfortunately for Michael, 10 goes to 20. We don't have a 15.
I think 10. Yeah, right.
But again, you can use whatever. If you don't have any weights at home, use a gallon of milk. All right, use 2 gallons of milk. Each one weighs a little bit more than 8 pounds, 8.3 pounds, right? And you can use those both right here. All right. So the mission is to keep that in front of the shoulder versus on top of the shoulder. That will help engage the stomach a little bit more. And this does prepare us to press the weight when we're ready for it, maybe in 2 or 3 more weeks. We're going to look for 12 reps on this. All right? Control on the way down, control on the way up. Again, now weight in front of the shoulder. Good. Stable position. Never letting gravity take over to pull you down. Right? We don't want to just drop to the ground. Control that body on the way down. Control that body on the way up. Trying to get full extension with that back leg. Good. 20 pounds makes a big difference, guys. Especially when it's all localized in one aspect or one area of your body. It's not the same thing as being 20 pounds heavier because that would be dispersed over your entire body. So if you got 2 gallons of milk right now, you got 16 pounds on top of your body. That's going to be, it's going to make the exercises feel a lot harder. We're going to go right back into that bridge position.
Get a little hot.
Get a little hot, that's right. Palms are facing the ceiling, calves and ankles are on the ball, legs are extended and relaxed, hips are up, and pull it, push and pull. Let's shoot for 15 repetitions in this round. Good, 2, good. No smooth, or no pausing, just a constant state of movement. Hips are up nice and tall. Good. And notice how every single time those ankles are moving, those hips are coming up tall. We can actually get a little bit higher with those hips. There we go. Full extension. The more you relax through the hips, the more you're going to engage the glutes and the hamstrings. And vice versa. The more you engage through here, the more the front has to relax. Control. And if you start to lose that ball a little bit, reset yourself by putting your butt on the ground and then pulling that ball back in, just like so. You want to make sure that you're stable. Good. Number, where are we at?
15. All
right, plank push-up. Plank position first, going up into the push-up position. Guys, he's going to be pretty sore tomorrow, and I'm pretty excited about it. All right. Feet a little bit wider than hips. That will give you that stability and balance you need. I'll move this ball away from you so you have a little bit more space. Good. We're going to shoot for 8 reps because, again, this is going to be about 60 seconds or so. But if you rock this out, if you hammer this out, it's only going to be about 30 seconds. We don't want that. We want this to take some time. So if you need to change anything, the first thing you would change is take away the push-up. You would just go back into the plank up-down if you couldn't manage any more push-ups. Or if you found that you had to be explosive to move the weight. Number, where are we at?
7.
All right, one more repetition. Controlled motion. Good, on your butt balance position, fingertips at the ears, or hands here. When we're here, we're changing the weight on the seesaw, so to speak, so it's a little bit heavier. But if we're here, the weight becomes a little bit more evenly dispersed. All right? There we go. So now, because Michael has distributed his weight in a different way, he's not needing to reset right off the bat every single time. This is a much more appropriate position for where he is as an athlete. And we all have deficiencies in some manner, right? And deficiencies don't mean weakness. It just means maybe you haven't done this motion and your brain is having a hard time sending the signals to your muscles, and your muscles are having a hard time receiving them and understanding what it is they need to do. It's like a baby learning how to walk. They're going to be very unsteady. And yes, I just called Michael a baby, but that's all right.
I'm a big baby.
You're going to be unsteady the first time you do something a little bit more foreign, or the first time that you're challenging your balance. Let's go into that bench over row. All right, with a 20-pound dumbbell. We can get a little bit more on this toe. There, good. Smooth and controlled. Nice flat back. Again, we're going to shoot for 10 to 12 reps here. That was a good range for Michael. The previous set, we want to try to match that if we need to. Don't let that upper back bow or rotate forward, so keep that chest extended in front of you. There we go. It might be a subtle difference, guys, but you don't want to have this rowing or this curvature to the back. Chin can be down, though, so you can breathe like a normal human. All right? If your chin is up, that's in a very smooth airway position. Right? It's very difficult to breathe there, and you're also tensing your neck muscles. It's not very comfortable. Chin down for me. Wherever that chest is pointed, that's where I want the chin and nose to point. It's a good way to think about it. If I'm squatting, all right, the common thought is to lift up, but that's not very comfortable. I can't talk very easily there. I'm straining at my neck. But if I'm down here, that voice is much more clear. The airways are clear, right? I'm not straining through the neck anymore. Wherever that chest is pointed, that's where the face should point. Good. We're going to go into the skull crusher. I think the 8 pounds is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So to make sure that you guys are steady, right? You want to sit on the ball. You want the weights up tall first. That's one way of doing it. Hips up. Walk it out a little bit further for me so your neck is supported, right? Even more so for me. There we go. So now your shoulder blades are directly on top of that ball. And go ahead. Smooth and controlled. Hips are up tall. You want to make the motion as stable as you can, even though we're unstable. So you don't want the feet to be too close together because you will wobble. All right? And there's a lot of ways to take this progression. And if you need to regress, if this is too much for you, too challenging, go ahead and put yourself on the ground. You can be in a crunch position with your feet are on the ground or your feet up in the air. We've done that in the previous videos. But we want to progress. We want to try to make these a little bit more challenging because that becomes more appropriate. If you do the same work every single time, well, you're not going to see the benefits of the lift anymore. Right? It's like doing the same mile repeat session all the time. You're not going to keep seeing the benefits every single time you do that workout. So we're going to go into this series one last time, right? And then we're going to recover, and we're going to finish with a core series. So let's go ahead and grab a 10-pounder. Oh, sorry, the 20-pounder. The 20-pounder.
We'll go with
10? All right. So we went 10, we went 20, and now the 10 is becoming a little bit more appropriate again because of fatigue. Right? So we're in that single leg lunge position. Here we go. Smooth and controlled. If this is too easy for you, Add a pause at the bottom with your knee in the air. I really hope my brother ends up watching this because every time he sees me in spandex shorts, he calls me Captain Spandex. So Sean, if you're out there, these are for you. Smooth and controlled, down a little bit slower. There we go. And again, Michael did a workout this morning. Right? We wouldn't want to do this type of a lift before a run or a speed session. You'd want to do it the day of, after, or you'd want to do it the next day. All right? Recognizing that you might even still be a little bit fatigued. But these types of lifts, what we're trying to accomplish for you at home is to provide supplemental lifting to enhance your running. This isn't about getting as big or as strong or as powerful as you can. It's about moving your body in a way that's going to benefit your running. Smooth and controlled. Pressure through the heel, not just through the toe. And when you stand up, you're squeezing those cheeks. On your back, bridge position with the ball. We don't want to have too much calf to start. Right there is good. All right. Palms are facing the ceiling. Smooth and controlled. If you can hear some whining in the background, those are my crazy dogs eating each other's faces. Like I said, we're doing this from home. We're not doing this with fancy cameras. We're doing this with real life situation. Not everybody has all the fancy stuff at home. And even though we have a few items, you can do this without a ball. You can use a soup can on either foot. Makes it just as challenging, if not more, because now you have two unsteady surfaces. You can use a foam roller. Palms facing that ceiling for me. Knuckles are on the ground. Hips come up as high as you can. Where are we at?
13.
All right, 2 more reps. And plank up, down with the push-up. Now, 3 times through, plank up, down with a push-up, that's pretty severe, that's pretty hard, it's pretty challenging. So don't feel upset or bad about yourself if you go and you have to revert back to just the plank up, down. But one of the things we want to make sure doesn't happen is that you go too fast on the push-up. We want to slow things down on the way down. We want to slow things up on the way up. A little slower for me, Michael. Just a little bit slower. We want this to take some time. Better. All right. Want to use the range of motion that makes the most sense for you. If you can't go all the way down because of a shoulder issue or maybe a surgery or an impingement, maybe coming down halfway or 3/4 of the way is all you have, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Pain-free motion is key. All right? The furthest extent you can go without causing pain. Weakness doesn't mean pain, though. Just because something's aching doesn't mean that you're doing damage. All right? The on your butt balance, kind of what I like to call the jackknife crunch. Everybody's got a different name of something. Good. We're going to shoot for 12 to 15 reps here. So one thing I never understood is all these crazy names for all these different exercises. So I just kind of make them up myself. Or steal whatever I want out of a Runner's World magazine. That's all right. Smooth and controlled. Good. And again, if this is too easy, you can bring those fingertips back up, change the position of the weight, or if it's too hard, keep the fingertips right behind you. We're going to be in that bent over row position. All right. And your position, you end up being a little taller. I'd like you to keep that flat back, but bow down a little bit more. There we go. That way the weight's fighting gravity a little bit more efficiently. Pressing through the heel, not just through the toe. It's very common to go through that toe, and when you do, you'll lose balance a little bit more. You want to make sure you're using the entire foot to hold balance. 15 per side is great. Sweating a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's good for you. It's good for you. I turned the fan on, but I want you to feel like you're in Mexico or Brazil or something. You know? Really get that tropical experience.
That's why I live in the mountains.
Yeah. Butt up a little higher, stick that chest out, chest a little bit lower. There we go. Smooth and slow. Because the point of lifting is not to be sore. You don't have to be sore to have a really good workout. And that is not always the sign of a really good workout. Oh, I feel so good, I could barely walk down a flight of stairs. That's not what we're going for, all right? And it shouldn't be the purpose of your lifting. I hope. The idea is to get stronger, to find more stability and balance, to be able to lift a little bit more weight, and for us to have that be used for supplemental for our running. We're not trying to cause so much pain that you can't do the work. Skull crusher position. Weights at the shoulders first for me before you start rolling out. There we go. That's a much more stable position. And then roll out. Again, while you're doing this, you want to make sure you're squeezing those cheeks and pulling with the hamstrings. And if you don't have a ball, you can use a bench with a cushion or a chair with a cushion. Right? If you have a recliner, you can go to the recliner and use that. Not the part that extends out, but recliners are a little bit deeper, a little bit wider, and you could use that as a position. And it's about the right height anyway. Good. I'm going to take a little bit of a rest. Let Michael grab some water. And if you've been following along, this is the finishing of the third series of the total body motion. But now we're going to cool the body down with the opening 4 exercises. The plank with the reaches, the single leg bridge, the bent over reverse fly, and then a crunch with a little bit of rotation. All right. What started off maybe feeling a little bit of a challenge will now actually feel pretty easy comparative to all the other movements we've just been doing. So, plank position. All right, for the cool down, we're not going to do as many reps. We're going to go 6 to 8 reps per side.
The same push-up thing?
No, the reaches.
Oh, the reaches.
The reaches. The very first series we did. Good. 6 to 8 reps. If you find yourself twisting, widen that stance just a little bit more. Hips can be a little bit lower for me, right there. Smooth and controlled. The other arm doesn't move until you are stable. Number, where are we at?
12.
Alrighty, single leg bridge, leg in full extension, palms facing the ceiling, 12 per side, no major pausing, smooth and controlled. Good. You want to keep this angle about the same. You want those quads to match the entire time. And again, if you can hear some squealing in the back, I've got 2 small dogs, a toy Australian Shepherd named Dumbledore, and Nutnug, who is a Vizsla, but is about 10 pounds lighter than a normal Vizsla. So they're kind of the runts of their litter, and they like to have fun. They're getting their own version of their own lift done, called Eat the Face. And switch them out. Again, from here, we're going to go into the reverse fly. Good extension. Notice how those quads keep about the same angle. All right? And those hips are coming all the way up every single time. All right, bent over. Reverse fly, the feet are together in this position, all right?
Which weight did I have?
8 pounds you were holding, the 8-pound weight. Chest low, butt high. Weight in front of you, and good. Smooth and slow, good. And that chest can be a little bit lower. There we we go. Good flat back, smooth and controlled. Good. 10 to 12 would be fine. Hopefully we can get up to 12. Try to keep the shoulder away from the ear. Let's try to keep that a little bit. There we go. So we don't want to hit me, but at the same time we don't want to go too high or away either. In terms of bringing the shoulder up to the ear. Good. 10 to 12. Guys, we got 2 exercises to go. We're almost done with the work. And this is Michael's first workout with me. Try not to hit me. Try to go perpendicular up, away from the body up here. There we go. Smooth and controlled. Good. On your back, crunch position, feet are in the air, knees are bent, last exercise, a little bit of rotation. We're just going to do 6 per side, 12 total reps. And can you push those feet in front of you just a little bit further without causing pain to the lower back? Good. Everything is controlled. And as you fatigue out, you're not going to be able to come as high. Maybe you're able to really come up high, but maybe this time around you're only getting just a little bit. That's fine. Work with the range of motion with the strength and the mobility that you continue to have throughout the session. Number, where are we at?
15 and 16.
All right, guys, that is it. Want to say thank you to Coach Michael Crouch. He's been with us, gosh, 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, 3.5 years. It's been a long while. And we hope that you can use this video, this series. Again, it's meant to be the second video, so to speak. But if you're stuck at home, the best thing you can do is keep moving, keep finding ways to exercise, keep your health in line. One of the best things you can do to help us is to share your experience. So if you can take a photo of yourself and doing some of the motions, some of the lifting, or ask somebody, one of your family members to take a photo or a quick video and share it, hashtag McKirdy Trained, will be greatly appreciated. Hopefully it gets more people moving. Guys, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next video.